So hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss another important topic of growth and development. Right guys? So under this topic, we will cover what is meaning and definitions of the growth. Okay. And what are the characteristics of the growth. Okay. After that, we will discuss about what is the meaning and definitions of the development, then nature and characteristics of the development, and the most important difference between growth and development. Right guys? So I start my lecture with meaning and definitions of growth. What is growth basically? Growth means growth is defined as a quantitative changes in an individual's body, right? Such as change in size, change in weight, change in height, as well as it includes increase of heart, brain, muscle, and other body parts in general, which can easily be measured. This is the important one. Okay. Growth kya cheez hai? What is growth? Growth means quantitative changes in human's body. Okay. When your weight is increasing, that means it is a sign of the growth. When your height is increasing, sign of growth. Right? Increase of a heart, brain, muscle, it is a growth. And always remember, growth can be measured. You can measure the height of the person. You can measure the weight of the person. Right? It is a not development. Okay. Means malab, you cannot say it is a not development because growth covers under the development. Okay. But more appropriately, you have to define it is a growth. Okay. Growth means quantitative changes in an individual's body when the baby born, so there is an increase in size, there is an increase in weight. Okay, uska brain ka size, muscles, heart, right, increase hote hain. So we say that there is an increase. We can measure these things, and this is called the growth. Okay, for example, growth of a child means the increase in weight, height, and different organs of the child's body. This is called growth. Right, guys? Right, guys? Harlock ने definitions दी है. Harlock कहते हैं growth can be defined as change in size, in proportion, disappearance of the old feature and acquisitions of new one. Okay, आपने देखा होगा when the baby born, है ना, lot of changes होती हैं, right? कभी उसका face resemble करता है किसी किसी के साथ, है ना, right? So this is all about the characteristics of growth. और L.K. Frank बोलते हैं the changes that occur any physical aspect are known as growth. Right? यहाँ पे you have to remember physical aspect or measure. Physical aspect or measure which you can measure, so that comes under growth. Right? Thus, hence, growth refers to an increase in physical size of whole or any of its part that can be measured. Right? Now अभी हम डिटेल में करते हैं what are the characteristics of the growth. Right? तो growth क्या चीज है? Growth basically it involves all structural and physiological changes within an individual. This is called growth. Second point is the most important. Growth is external, physical in nature. Okay? It does not. Next point is that this is another important point. It does not continue throughout life and stops at a certain age. Remember, guys, जो growth होती है, growth, it stops at a certain age. Sometimes growth stops at the age of a 20. Sometimes growth stops at the age of a 25. Always remember, है ना, size increase हो रहा है. Growth means increase in the size, increase in the height. Height maximum कितनी होगी? 5, 10, 6, 7 inches. है ना? It cannot be increased, with the age, na? It stops at a certain age, right? Brain का size है, it stops at a certain age, right? Muscles है, stops at a certain age. Okay, you can increase little bit, right? But it stops at a certain age. The characteristics, the nature of a growth is it stops at a certain age. Okay, but जो lifelong होती है from birth to death, this is called development, which we will cover later on, in this chapter. Next, what is the characteristics of a growth? It may or may not bring development. Okay, you cannot say that when you are, your baby is, increasing in size. Okay, uski age बढ़ रही है. You cannot say that iski development bhi ho rahi hai. Development is a different thing. We will cover. And it is a quantitative progress. ये quantitative progress होती है. Okay, you cannot say qualitative. It is a quantitative. Quantitative means you can measure. The things can be measured. This is called quantitative progress. Growth is a part of development, and remember, it is always part of the development. Okay, individual differences among children are due to growth. देखो, most important thing, जो individual में differences होते हैं ना, when you are teaching in the class, there is a 30 students in the class. Okay, and you have covered a lecture, you have understood the lecture, and you are teaching in the class, and sometimes you lose your temper. Why they are not getting the lecture? Because of the individual difference. You should know that. Being of a teacher, you should not lose your temper. You should know, you should know the psychologically. Basically, there is a individual differences. Not all the students in the class, they get the 100% marks. Okay, some are average, some are intelligent, some are below average. You have to deal all kind of a student. You can only deal when you come to know about the growth and development of the child. You can come to know about the intelligence of the child. You can come to know the all the things which is covered in the psychological lecture, in the psychological curriculum, right? The rate of growth, next point is that the rate of growth of different parts of the body is different. Growth is measured accurately, and last is it influences the process of development, but not always, right? So in short, we can say that growth क्या होती है? Growth means quantitative changes, increase in size and height. Okay, and it can be measured easily. It may or may not be a part of, may or may not bring development. Okay, and it is a part of development. Or individual differences among children are due to the growth. Okay, guys. So next we discuss about what is development. Development क्या चीज होती है? This is the most important, word, development. Okay. Development is a wider and comprehensive term than growth. Development is a continuous process in which physical, emotional, and intellectual cognitive changes occur. Cognitive word यहाँ पे use हो रहा है, right? It is a continuous process through which physical, emotional, and cognitive changes occur. Cognitive means intellectual changes. Okay. Mind में जो ख्याल आ रहे हैं ना, lot of आपका there is a variation in the mood. Number of ideas are coming in the mind. This is due to the development. This is not due to the growth, right? For example, development of a child means changes in shape, form, and functioning of various parts of the body of the child, as well as behavior that can be observed and assessed, right? Here, measured word is not, we are not using the measured word. We are using the observe and assessed. That means whatever the behavioral changes that comes in the human body, this comes due to the development. And guys, behavior cannot be measured. Behavior is always assessed or observed. You can observe the behavior now of the person. You can observe the behavior of the child. You cannot measure, right? So this is called basically development. When there is a change in physical, emotional, and cognitive part, this is called the development. According to the Skinner ने क्या बोला है? Skinner says that development is a continuous and gradual process. Gradual, slow by slow process hai ye. Okay, when we talk about 10 years back, हमारा जो mind का जो structure था, thinking pattern था, that was different, है ना, from today. Okay, after 10 years, we never know what would be the our pattern of thinking. राइट, हमारा मूड, हमारा सारा जो बेसिकली कॉग्निटिव एक्टिविटीज हैं, इमोशनल पार्ट है हमारा, राइट, बिहेवियर से रिलेटेड पार्ट है, बिकॉज बिहेवियर चेंज। अकॉर्डिंग टू स्टीवेंसन ने बोला है, डेवलपमेंट इज कंसर्न्ड विद द स्टडी ऑफ चेंजेस इन बिहेवियर थ्रू द लाइफ स्पैन। पूरी की पूरी लाइफ के अंदर, फ्रॉम बर्थ टिल डेथ, जो भी चेंजेस आ रही हैं बच्चे के अंदर, दिस इज ड्यू टू द डेवलपमेंट, जो भी बिहेवियरल चेंजेस हैं। And being of the teacher, you should know about the growth and development of the child. Only then you can teach effectively to the student. Okay, why this syllabus, this topic is in the part of the B.Ed? Because B.Ed is a teaching methodology part. In a B.Ed, you come to know different philosophy, you come to know different kind of psychology, because growth and development comes under the topic of psychology. Okay, only then you can teach effectively to the student, right? Next, we discuss about characteristics of development. What are the characteristics of a development? So number first is, characteristics is, it is overall and progressive change of an individual. It is a internal in nature, internal hota hai behavior. It is a continuous process, right? Continuous process hai. And fourth is important, it also involves psychological change within an individual. Psychological change jo hota hai, psychological matlab behavior, guys. That's why most of the time I have said that you have to find the behavior, you have to observe the behavior of the child, you have to know the subject first. Subject does not mean content. You should know about the behavior of the person. Once you know the behavior of the person, you can easily teach to the student. Content matter is not a different thing. Content matter is not a difficult thing. Content matter of any subject is a very simple. The difficult thing is that to understand the behavior of the student, behavior of the child. Once you know the behavior of the child, your content matter automatically it becomes easy. You are giving according to the behavior of the child, according to the interest of the child, according to the level of the child. So in a class, when you enter in the class, you should know there are 30 students in the class. Make sure that all the 30 characters, all the 30 persons should have in your mind. You should know the each and every activity, each and every level of the persons in your mind, right? So only then you can do when you finish such kind of a teaching methodology, right? Next is a characteristics. Development also includes growth. It is influenced by maturation and learning. It is a very much related to one's environment. It is a qualitative change. It is a not quantitative. It is a qualitative change. And development occurs even without growth. आपने देखा होगा, you have seen that. अगर किसी बच्चे की हाइट नहीं बढ़ रही है लेकिन डेवलपमेंट फिर भी हो रही है ना, right? Next topic is, this is the most important questions, and most of the time comes difference between growth and development. Okay, you are aware of a growth, you are aware of a development. Easily you can do that. Growth is a process of becoming larger or longer in physical aspect. On the development side, development is a process in which something changes in physical, social and psychological aspects. Second point है, growth means it comprises of height, weight, size and shape of body organs as well as brain. And on the development part, it comprises not only physical changes but cognitive, social and emotional changes, right? On the growth side, number third, it occurs in different part of the body. Development side, it brings change in an individual. Number fourth is, growth is a limited period. It starts with conception but ends at a particular age. Okay, but continues is a lifelong process, right? Number fifth, growth is a quantitative in nature. On the development sides, development is a qualitative in nature. Sixth point, growth talks about one aspect of personality but in limited way. And on the development side, it talks about different aspect of the personality. When you are aware of all the things of the development, you come to know about the interest of the child, you come to know about the attitude, aptitude, all the things of the child. When you you are aware of the all the development process, right? It is growth. On the growth side, it is not affected by learning, but development, learning and experience affects, है ना? There is a behavioral changes. So teaching का क्या मतलब होता है? Teaching means there is a change in the behavior of the student. Okay, how you can observe your teaching? If there is a change in the behavior of the student, so that means your teaching is successful. You are a correct teacher, you are a good teacher, you are an effective teacher. If there is a no change, so that means your teaching is not successful. On the growth side, growth may or may not lead to development, but development is a integrative. Development in one aspect promotes the development in other aspect. Ninth point, growth is a part of development. Development includes, on the development side, development includes growth. और लास्ट पॉइंट क्या है? ग्रोथ इज ए फिजिकल इन प्रोग्रेस इन नेचर, और जो डेवलपमेंट जो होती है वो मैंने आपको बताया है कॉग्निटिव है, बिहेवियर है, ठीक है, ये सारा है, इट इज ऑल अबाउट द डेवलपमेंट. तो दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट वन, शॉर्ट लेक्चर था. इसी लेक्चर को हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे नेक्स्ट वीक में, एंड वी विल डिस्कस अबाउट प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट, फैक्टर्स, स्टेजेस ऑफ ग्रोथ एंड डेवलपमेंट. राइट गाइस, थैंक यू सो मच.